What if I tell you, even a perfectly designed concrete structure can fail, not because of design, but because of improper compaction? This is not a theory. This is one of the most common site failures. No matter how strong your mix is, if compaction is poor, durability is gone. And the first visible sign? Honeycombing. Those voids, those weak zones, those repair costs that nobody planned. So now the real question is, if compaction is so critical, why are we still depending on labor and vibration? Engineers in Japan faced the same problem in the 1980s. The issues with the lack of skilled labor and improper compaction raise concerns about the durability of structures. Engineers asked a simple but powerful question. What if concrete could flow like water, fill every corner on its own, compact perfectly without vibration? That idea led to self-compacting concrete, SCC.
What is self-compacting concrete? Self-compacting concrete, or SCC, is defined as a special type of concrete which can be placed and consolidated under its own weight without any vibration effort due to its excellent deformability, and which at the same time is cohesive enough to be handled without segregation or bleeding. Let's make it simple. SCC is a concrete that flows under its own weight, fills every gap, compacts without vibration, and remains stable without segregation or bleeding.
Now, this sounds simple, but here is the real engineering challenge. How can concrete behave like a liquid, but still behave like solid concrete? And even without losing its strength and stability? Even if you add admixtures, what if it starts to set before compaction? How long will it stay as a liquid? Is there a time limit, like the normal and final setting time in normal concrete? If it's so amazing, why isn't it completely taking over normal concrete? Let's decode this one by one. Before understanding the science, you need to understand one critical difference. We don't measure SCC like normal concrete, because SCC doesn't just settle, it spreads. So we engage in more tests. On a normal site, you use a slump cone to measure height. But for SCC, that's useless. We use the Slump Flow test. We don't care how much it drops. We care how wide it spreads. A healthy SCC mix should hit a diameter of 650 millimeters to 800 millimeters. Here comes an important detail. It is true that a large slump value indeed is a property of SCC, but a slump value less than 650 millimeters results in poor concrete filling, and more than 800 millimeters results in segregation risk. So SCC is always designed within an optimum flow window. In this test, we determine a very important parameter of SCC, that is T50 time. T50 time is the time taken to reach 500 millimeter spread in a slump flow test. The usual T50 time range is 2 seconds to 5 seconds. Why is this important? Slump flow tells you how far SCC moves, but T50 tells you how controlled that movement is. But flow isn't everything. We also use the L-box test. This measures passing ability. We let the concrete flow through a gate with rebar obstacles. If the concrete on the far side is nearly as high as the starting side, it has passed. We also use the V-funnel to test filling ability. If the concrete takes too long to empty out, it means the viscosity is too high, and it might get stuck in complex forms. SCC is not just workable concrete. It is engineered to flow, fill, and finish all by itself. How self-compacting concrete works. Now you understand SCC is designed to have a high slump. Let's learn why it has a larger slump and how it works. Inside normal concrete, particles collide, friction increases, flow stops. That's why we need vibration to make it move forcefully and fill all the area of the formwork. In SCC, we need to fulfill 3 objectives. Flows under its own weight. We achieve this by increasing the slump.
But we need to fulfill the next two objectives. That is, filling every corner without vibration, fills every gap, compacts without vibration. So the real question is, how did engineers remove vibration completely? The core idea begins with the Bingham fluid behavior of SCC. I won't go into the details of the equation, but I'll cover the basics so you can understand the concept easily. So the thing is, the slump achieved for SCC is inspired by the concept of Bingham fluid. That means, at rest, it behaves like a solid. When force is applied, it flows like a liquid. A Bingham fluid is defined by its yield stress and plastic viscosity. 1. Yield stress is the force required to start movement. In SCC, yield stress is kept very low, so concrete starts flowing under its own weight. 2. Plastic viscosity controls how the concrete moves after flow starts. If you have low viscosity, the mix is too fast, resulting in segregation. And if you have high viscosity, the mix will be too slow, resulting in blockage. So SCC is designed with optimum viscosity. So we made the concrete mix behave like a Bingham fluid by reducing its resistance to flow optimally. But how do we physically make the concrete flow like this? We allow the concrete mix to flow continuously by 1. Reducing aggregate interaction. For this, SCC uses less coarse aggregate. Less aggregates implies less collision, resulting in smoother flow. 2. Controlled particle dispersion. We know that cement particles naturally stick together. For this, we add superplasticizers, PCE. They break these clusters. This results in less internal friction and more particle movement. 3. Formation of lubrication layer. This layer is formed as the mix have more fines plus powder, resulting in a paste-rich mix. This creates a thin lubrication layer around aggregates. So instead of blocking, particles slide smoothly. Now everything is ready for flow. But what actually happens when we place SCC on site? Stage 1. Flow initiation. Gravity creates stress. Stress exceeds yield stress, so flow starts immediately. No vibration needed. Stage 2. Filling ability. Concrete flows through. Dense reinforcement, narrow gaps, complex shapes. This is called passing ability. Stage 3. Self-leveling and air release. As it flows, air escapes automatically. Concrete settles into a dense mass. In SCC, flow itself is compaction. Now comes the practical doubt. If there is no vibration, how do we know compaction is complete? You don't measure compaction directly. You observe its behavior. The concrete flows under its own weight, fills every corner, passes through reinforcement, and then stops naturally. The surface becomes level, smooth, and free from voids. So instead of checking compaction after placing, we make sure it will compact properly before placing itself. How? Using performance tests I mentioned before. Slump Flow checks filling ability. T50 time tells how fast it flows. L-box checks passing through reinforcement. V-funnel indicates viscosity. If these are satisfied, compaction is already guaranteed. But what about after placing? Can we still verify it? Yes, but indirectly. We look for a smooth finish, no honeycombing, and if needed, tests like ultrasonic pulse velocity or core testing can confirm internal density. Now the next question arises. If SCC keeps flowing like this, when does it actually stop and start setting? SCC does have defined setting times. The initial setting time typically ranges between 2 to 5 hours, and the final setting time is usually between 6 to 10 hours, depending on the mix and conditions. This is generally higher than conventional concrete. Why? Because of superplasticizers and higher powder content. They delay hydration slightly, keeping the concrete workable for a longer duration. You can check the research reference mentioned in the description for this.
But here's the important behavior. SCC does not lose workability slowly. It remains fluid for a longer time, and then shows a relatively faster drop in flow as setting begins. So at the site level, you get enough time for placing and finishing. But once setting starts, you should not disturb the concrete.
Now connect everything. Normal concrete needs vibration after placing. SCC removes that completely. It is designed in such a way that flow, filling, and compaction all happen at the same time. And that is the real power of SCC. So next time you see concrete flowing like liquid steel, remember, it's not just flowing, it's compacting itself.